Hey, what's up everyone, it's me Jordan and welcome to my Battlefield 1 review. The game has now been out for a week now and I've had enough time to play this game and get a review together for you guys, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it. So let's start off with the single player. Just to wrap it up quickly, the single player is good, but it is not great. And I'm going to tell you what they did right and wrong. First things first, the level design in the BF1 single player is a lot better. There's elements where you can choose to either stealth it or you can just go out guns blazing. And the elements of the single player is good. I mean, there's a wide variety of how you're going to play. You're going to be playing in tanks, you're going to be playing in planes, and there's a part in the game where you're going to be playing as the elite class armored up. They've nailed of how much there is in the single player, but this is where I'm going to start talking about the negatives of the single player. Some of the war stories feel slightly rushed. In particular, I think the runner and the Italian Avante Saviore or something like that. I can't remember the name exactly, but it escapes me. Those two felt kind of rushed to me, particularly the Italian one. I couldn't really connect to the character as much as I could with some of the others because I felt like there wasn't a lot of backstory behind them before you actually jump into the mission. And the thing is as well, you kind of, like, they're trying to build up this surprise at the end of that story, but you kind of can already tell what is going to happen. My favourite war story by far was Through Mud and Blood, which is the one about the tank crew, which was actually the longest one I think of all of them. The story was long enough for me to connect with the characters. I felt a bit of a connection between them, and the missions were quite good as well. I thought each mission kind of had its little variety. There was parts where you'd just be bashing through the enemy lines with a tank, and there'd be a part where you'd have to get out of your tank and scout ahead for enemy camps and stuff like that. So I think they did a good job with that one. However, some of the war stories weren't particularly fleshed out, I felt. Some of them kind of felt rushed. To sum that all up, the story was only 4 hours long, which was kind of a disappointment. I remember saying in my video, like my impressions video, when the single player gameplay first got revealed, I was hoping that the single player would hopefully be between maybe 6 and 8 hours long, but they only managed 4, which was kind of disappointing. One other thing I was kind of disappointed with the single player, which I'm sure not maybe others would have thought, but I was a little disappointed that you didn't get to have a German character in the single player. All 5 war stories were from people who were on the Ally side, so you had one about the British, the American, the Italian, the Australian, and Arabian rebel. So I was a little disappointed because I think it's important for people to know that the Germans and the Austro-Hungarians and all them people weren't exactly the bad guys in this war. The whole war altogether was a silly war anyway, and no one was really the bad guy, and I was kind of hoping that they would have kind of shown off their side of the story as well, as much as they did for the Allied forces. A little disappointing, but that's just my opinion. Some people might have not thought that, but I just thought it would have been nice. In all, the single player is good. I think a lot of people will agree it's better than Battlefield 4's and Battlefield 3. My personal opinion is it's a good campaign, but it's not great. Now let's move over to multiplayer. It's pretty much the meat and bones, pretty much, of why people buy this game. First off, the maps. My favourite map is Foul Fortress and Argonne Forest. Those are the 2 maps I enjoy the most. One thing I kind of noticed about these maps though, compared to other maps in other Battlefield games, is that they're a lot more linear than the other games. I think it seems like they've kind of tried to make every map a map for operations and then just stuck points on flags where I think they're best. Foul Fortress is probably the map that's most wide open. I do believe that the maps Suez and Sinai Desert are in particular very bad maps. I think Sinai Desert, I mean, we all played it in the beta and it still hasn't really improved that much. Those 2 maps in particular are the ones I don't enjoy, but if you enjoy them, good for you, but for me, no. And to the game modes. Operations, of course, is quite good. I enjoy Operations a lot. I'd probably still pick Conquest over it, but I do enjoy Operations. My favourite map for Operations is Monte Grappa, or how you say. I'm not really Italian, so I can't really pronounce it the best. But however, there is a few complaints I have about Operations. I do think that the Behemoth has to come in on the final battalion. But even then, I don't really feel like the Behemoths do a lot. In particular, as I said, with the Monte Grappa, because when you're capping, as long as you're capping the points, a lot of them are indoors, so you could just sit there and the Behemoth can't do anything because you're sheltered. So The dynamic weather is really cool, but it always comes in on my luck, I suppose. Every time I'm trying to snipe, the fog will come in and I can't see, 20 yards in front of me, but that's just my luck. I'm pretty sure some people have better luck. So let's talk about the behemoths. I have hardly really spent much time on the behemoth because pretty much as soon as they spawn in, everyone just jumps in and it's impossible to spawn on them sometimes. I do enjoy them, though. I think they are fit for battle, and there's been times where Behemoth has actually turned the game around and the losing team have actually come out winners at the end of it with a really close game. So I do enjoy the Behemoths. Some people say that they're too overpowered, they need to be have less health and stuff, which I can agree with at points, because there are games where Behemoths will literally just come in and wreck everything. And there's other times when they'll literally just get demolished, when everyone just teams up and takes it out quickly. About the elite classes now, the armored guy and the tank hunter and all that, they're good. I can sometimes feel like they're a little bit casual, like some people have said. They're a bit overpowered and stuff. I can agree with that at times, but I suppose at the same time they do have their flaws. They've, for example, the armored guy can't really aim down the sights. The tank hunter has to be on a surface to lay his bipod down, and the flamethrower obviously has a range. So I suppose on maps like Ballroom Blitz they could be a problem, a bit annoying, but on bigger maps they're not as much as a problem. One thing I'm not happy with though is that these things are available in domination mode, which is stupid, I think, because that is obviously just all close range combat, and if you have someone with the class, and if you had a friend that was a medic, they would literally just go on tearing everyone up, and it would be really frustrating for the other team. So all the classes, assault, medic, support and scout, all feel good. I think a lot of people are kind of away from support right now. I enjoy support, but I know a lot of people kind of think they need some tweaks, which I do agree with at times. I think they have a lack of equipment, I think. Because pretty much all they've got is a repair tool, 2 mortars and ammo. That's pretty much all they got, so it is a bit lacking, but I do enjoy the weapons. I like the fact that you have to hold down the trigger to make them more accurate, which I think is quite cool. Let's move on to glitches, which is a thing in every Battlefield game, but at the same time it is really annoying. I've seen some really funny glitches, like dead players glitching through walls and stuff like that, but there are still some annoying ones in there, like revive glitches, and sometimes especially when you get revived as well, your gun will do some crazy stuff when you get revived and you can't shoot for some reason. But that's the thing in every game, and it's a bit rare, but it is annoying, I'm not gonna lie. One thing that is driving me mad at the moment though is the frame rate issues and the connection issues, and it baffles me that EA haven't really sorted their connection out, because that was one of my biggest complaints from the beta, where they have kind of improved from it, but it still is a real issue. And it annoys me the fact that EA had the easiest job of this whole development cycle and they can't get it right. Battle packs now, battle packs are a thing, however I do not like the way that you earn them. Basically at the end of every game, the game will pick randomly, in a conquest game, it will randomly choose between, I think it's 10, 15, 10 players I think they choose, complete random out of the 64 players. It's not like who did the best or anything like that, it's just completely random, which I think isn't really fair, to be honest with you. Basically just maybe the top 10 players who had the best score, the top 10 highest scores should have got it. But I mean, you can have this guy who could be the luckiest guy in the world just getting a battle pack every game, and I could be kicking ass every game and I won't get anything from it, so that is a little bit annoying. And I think it's kind of remarkable that these battle packs aren't actually available to buy with real money, considering it's come from EA, so that's a bit of a pat on the back and give to them for that. Also medals. There are certain medals in the game where you have to complete certain assignments, but they don't really have much rewards for them. All they do is give you XP, which I wish was a bit different. I wish they would rather give you maybe a battle pack for completing those medals, because those medals aren't easy. I mean, they can be easy, but I suppose they do take some time and some patience. And there are certain modes missing in the launch time, like hardcore mode's not there, Conquest Small's not there. I mean, DICE are promising that these things will come eventually, but I mean, there is only 6 game modes at the moment, which isn't quite a lot, to be honest with you, so I hope they can fix that at some point. And renting servers, that's not here yet. And also I forgot to mention about the new game mode War Pigeon. It's not really enjoyable. I mean, it's fun, but it's never... I mean, you could play 2 games of it and then you'll just get bored of it, I think. War Pigeon really hasn't been a big hit for me like I thought it might have been. But some people like it. I'm personally not too intrigued by it, but it's there if you want to play it. All in all, Battlefield 1 is a really, really good game. I'm glad I picked it up, but it's got a lot of problems that need to be sorted, and I suppose it's just the little things, I suppose. I mean, the gameplay, in my opinion, is flawless. The feelings when you get like those sniper headshots are good. The vehicles feel good. Some people say the vehicles are overpowered, but I personally think they're good. As long as you have a team with you, you can wreck shit up. My final rating for Battlefield 1 is an 8 out of 10. I would go for the 7, but I think the whole experience altogether is very good, and when the DLC comes out and all that stuff, I'll be doing that as well, although it is a £40 season pass I have to buy as well, so it is a little disappointing that I've got to pay more money to get everything, but I mean, that's just EA for you, really. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. What did you think of Battlefield 1? Do you think it's Game of the Year material, or do you think it's just a disappointment, or is it just an alright game? You tell me. Share this video with your friends, like it if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon. Take care of yourselves.